Welcome to Herdley. Each book is distilled into 3 stories, giving you the key ideas in minutes. Today we listen to Julia Sonnevend's Charm, How Magnetic Personalities Shape Global Politics, in which we probe into how political charm transforms ordinary moments into powerful tools, the delicate balance between seduction and deception in global diplomacy, the surprising influence of charm in unexpected leadership figures. Julia Sonnevend is an associate professor of sociology and communication at the New School for Social Research. Don't go away, Herdley the editor will be right back. We begin with a scene that could almost be mistaken for a casual stroll between friends, except these friends happen to be negotiating one of the most critical nuclear agreements of recent history. In 2015, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif was at the center of delicate negotiations with the United States. What stood out wasn't just the content of the discussions, but the way Zarif's charm shaped the atmosphere. Instead of hard, calculated political moves, Zarif disarmed his counterparts with his warmth, his smiles, and his ability to make personal connections in small moments, such as when he engaged in long walks with U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. He smiled, he listened, and created an environment where previous clashes were temporarily forgotten, the book notes. Zarif's charm transformed what could have been tense, standoffish meetings into something softer, something more human. But beneath this charm, there was strategy. Zarif's ability to make his American counterparts feel at ease was no accident. It was a deliberate effort to break the ice and move forward in a complicated political landscape. For leaders and diplomats, the lesson here is clear. Charm is more than superficial. It can soften resistance, making it easier to negotiate and find common ground. In tense situations, adding personal warmth may be the key to diffusing conflict and opening doors that would otherwise remain firmly shut. Zarif's charm didn't erase the political differences, but it allowed discussions to proceed more smoothly. From Zarif's diplomatic charm, we move to a completely different stage. New Zealand, where Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern masterfully wielded charm to present a relatable, modern image of leadership. In the middle of a hectic political career, Ardern took the world by surprise when she brought her newborn baby into the halls of the United Nations in 2018. In a setting filled with world leaders, she wasn't just the head of a country, she was a working mother. This small but powerful act resonated with audiences across the globe. In her Facebook posts, she shared intimate glimpses into her life, often with her baby in tow, balancing motherhood and leadership. She spoke of kindness and vulnerability as political virtues, concepts rarely found in such cutthroat environments. By allowing the public to see her as both a leader and a mother, she cultivated a connection that felt incredibly personal, even as she governed an entire nation. Ardern's charm wasn't a calculated move to deceive or mislead. It was a way of connecting with people on a level they could understand. The challenge for other leaders is to balance their roles with humanity, to show vulnerability while maintaining authority. Ardern showed us that charm, when used authentically, can build bridges between politicians and their people. The vulnerability that she displayed allowed others to see her as real, approachable, and trustworthy, strengthening her political stance without diminishing her power. As leaders, it's about more than policies. People also want someone they can relate to, someone who feels real. And yet, charm doesn't always come with positive connotations. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, often painted as a dictator in Western media, deployed his own version of charm in an unexpected way during the 2018 Winter Olympics. When he crossed the border, hand in hand with South Korean President Moon Jae-in, Kim sparked a viral moment of seemingly unexpected warmth. The media covered the encounter extensively, and for a short time, the oppressive image of North Korea shifted slightly in the global eye. He waved to crowds, engaged in friendly banter, and even took selfies with Western journalists. The book points out that Kim's charm offensive temporarily shifted the tone of North Korean coverage, showing just how easily a dictator's image can be softened, even momentarily, by calculated charm. This case demonstrates that charm can be a double-edged sword, capable of creating illusions that make it difficult to see the darker realities beneath. Kim's use of charm wasn't about forming genuine connections or addressing political concerns. It was about playing the part of a more likable leader to manipulate media coverage. Leaders should be aware that while charm can open doors, it can also be used to mislead. The lesson here is about discernment. Charm can mask underlying motives, and we must remain vigilant when leaders present a softer side that may not align with their actions. Zarif's warmth, Ardern's authenticity, and Kim's strategic charm all reveal something crucial about how leaders use personal magnetism in politics. Charm, when used skillfully, can open doors, form connections, and even manipulate public opinion. But it's important to recognize the balance between genuine charm and calculated deception. Leaders like Zarif show us that charm can be a diplomatic tool for good, helping to ease tensions and build bridges. Ardern demonstrated that vulnerability can be a source of strength, allowing leaders to connect with their people on a more human level. Yet Kim's story warns us that charm, when used in the wrong hands, can also deceive and distort reality. In politics, charm is both a gift and a weapon. As we observe the behavior of global leaders, we must constantly ask ourselves whether their charm is building something genuine or whether it's creating an illusion designed to distract from less favorable truths. The power of charm lies in its ability to make us feel seen and valued, but it's up to us to determine whether the person charming us has our best interests at heart. As the editor of Hardly, through learning these stories, we realize that charm is a tool we can use wisely, whether we are negotiating at a global level or in everyday life. We can become more aware of the charm tactics around us and learn to distinguish between those who use charm to unite and those who use it to deceive. Each story comes from the most representative real-life cases selected by the Hardly team from this book. There are countless more stories, 19 in total, each shedding new light on the subtle yet powerful. In reflecting on the power of charm, we can't ignore how charm doesn't just sway the masses, it can alter the trajectory of global politics. One striking example of this comes from Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, a leader who, despite his illiberal politics, has mastered the art of presenting himself as both a staunch nationalist and a relatable figure. Orbán often shares moments from his personal life on social media, including images of him diapering his grandchild or attending Hungarian folk festivals. His carefully constructed persona radiates traditional Hungarian values, creating an image that resonates deeply with his countrymen. He embodies the nation, the book notes, emphasizing how Orbán has used charm to position himself as the symbolic core of Hungary. While his policies have been divisive, his personal charm has helped him maintain a stronghold on power for over a decade. This story shows us that charm, when combined with nationalism and identity politics, can be an incredibly potent force. Orbán's relatability, paired with his strong nationalist agenda, demonstrates how charm can create an almost unbreakable bond between leader and followers, solidifying political power through emotional and cultural connections. Revisiting our key points, charm can transform everyday moments into political leverage, balance the line between seduction and deception, and surprise us with its influence even in leaders we least expect. As we navigate the political world, we must question not just the policies but the personalities that drive them. Charm, in all its forms, will continue to shape the future of global politics. Each story comes from the most representative real-life cases selected by